As Tesla faces a massive recall yet again in China, this time for safety belt issues, NIO receives a hold rating by most analysts. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. Yes, Tesla faces a massive recall yet again and again for safety concerns, safety issues, poor workmanship. And whilst all this is happening, NIO receives a hold rating by most analysts. Also, a number of institutions just bought up NIO yet again. And it now raises it to 48.55% of investors and hedge funds owns NIO stock. 48.55%. But why are they doing that? So let's talk about who bought, and then we'll get further into today's topic. A number of large investors have recently modified their holdings of NIO, boosted its holdings in shares of NIO by 200 PLC, boosted its holdings of shares of NIO by 238.6%. You heard that right, in the fourth quarter. This is whilst analysts are telling you it's a sell, it's no good, it's cash burning, but the corporations are buying. PLC boosted its holdings of shares by 238%, and this is the game I was telling you all about. They now own 7,062,460 shares of the company stock valued at $64,070,000 after purchasing an additional 4,976,403 shares in the last quarter. Electron Capital Partners LLC acquired a new stake in shares in NIO during the third quarter valued at $37,918,000. This is all whilst doom and gloom is going on, so-called doom and gloom. Why? Quadrangle Capital Limited acquired a new stake share in NIO during the fourth quarter. This is while it reaches a boiling point, while everyone else was pooping their pants and talking about share buybacks. Why would they do this? They bought $12,361,000, and Sweetbank AB acquired a new stake shares of NIO during the first quarter. This just happened. Valued at $5,343,000, and Norges Bank acquired a new stake shares in NIO during the fourth quarter, valued at $9,652,000. Institutional investors and hedge funds now own 48.55% of the company's stock. So you see, guys, while they are telling you, the analysts, it's cash burn, I would stay away from it for now, just like the Pupavosian, Tatavosian were telling people that until just a week ago, that it's cash burn, it's a sell, I wouldn't touch it right now, I'll wait to see if they become profitable. Now he's saying, oh, it's very promising and they're doing this, and I told you guys this was happening. But this is the game they play. While the shorts come pooping on their pants, knowing that their time is close. You see them ramping up the rhetoric on my channel because they know their time is close. Tesla continues to be devastating to customers with massive recalls time after time again, from the Cybertruck to the Model Y now to the Model 3 yet again. I'm not saying Model Y now, they've always had recalls, but now this one is geared towards the Model Y. If you think that wasn't bad enough, during the conference call, he said we're working on new products, and they just showed some cars covered in a picture. You know the man is lying yet again, and the crowd is like, ooh! Yes, brain dead sheep. This is what I call them. No critical thinking, no common sense. And the man continuously lies and says, we're coming out with this. It took about 8 years for the Cybertruck that is still failing yet again. Take a look at this clip if you think things couldn't get worse. Take a look at this clip of what's happening and why battery as a service is the only way to go forward.
There's been an increase in copper thefts at electrical charging stations. Thieves apparently are cutting charging cables for their copper wiring. Copper prices are at an all-time high. Authorities say it can take a little more than 2 minutes to cut all of a station's cables, and thieves may get $15 to $20 per cable.
In the last, say, 2 years ago, we would see maybe a cut cable once every 6 months. We're seeing repeated incidences on a monthly basis. They're relying exclusively on our network to use their EVs, again, to take their kids to school or get to work or get to medical appointments. And so it's very impactful when a whole station is down due to vandalism.
The rise in the vandalism is proving to be a challenge for EV drivers who rely on those charging stations, especially if they don't have a charger at home.
Hi guys, welcome back. So there's a lot going on today. So NIO launches the process to determine NIO Day 2024. Whilst all of this is happening, NIO has formed another strategic partnership with solar module maker Astroenergy. Astroenergy, excuse me. Neither NIO nor Astroenergy have released details about the partnership. A reasonable guess is that NIO may install photovoltaic panels on roofs of more battery swap stations, selling back energy to the grid yet again. NIO has entered into a new partnership that could be paving the way for wider installation of solar panels on its signature battery swap stations. NIO Energy arm NIO Power entered into a strategic partnership with Astroenergy involving integrated energy projects for charging stations and battery swap stations, according to a statement from the electric vehicle maker. The two companies will collaborate on integrated energy products at factories, parks, based on NIO Power charging and battery swap network, it said, at our parks as well. The two will also tap the value of vehicle grid interaction and explore the value of EVs as mobile energy storage based on the layout of the energy networks, NIO said. NIO's statement said nothing more. Astroenergy, a subsidiary of energy system solutions provider Chint Group that specializes in the manufacturing of photovoltaic, that's the most advanced solar panels in the world, is one of the earliest private companies to enter the PV sector in China. Astroenergy said in a statement that the partnership will focus on EV charging infrastructure, construction, and jointly explore vehicle grid interaction, energy storage, and utilization. So it will help even at our charging piles. Astroenergy's statement also did not mention any details about the partnership. So the author is saying a reasonable guess is that NIO may install PV panels on the roof of more battery swap stations, thus making them virtual power plants, as we've seen some of them already doing. This is possibly coming on our fourth generation power stations. Back on October 19, 2021, Unison Energy, a provider of distributed clean energy power plant solution, announced that it signed a deal with NIO to install rooftop distributed PV plants on the EV maker's second generation battery swap stations. The average capacity of each EV plant that Unison would install on the roofs of the battery swap station of NIO is 100 kilowatts. By the time NIO reaches its goal of having 3,000 battery swap stations in China by 2025, the total rooftop PV capacity of these facilities will be 300 megawatts, Unison said at the time. On January 3rd this year, NIO signed a cooperation agreement with solar panel maker LONGi Green Energy, which is a giant in China, guys, to use its products on its battery swap station. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and yet again, NIO continues to do huge partnerships. But also, what happened this morning is NIO also were calling on Huawei and others to join our battery swap alliance. NIO president calls on more players including Dongfeng, BAIC, Huawei, HEMA to join the battery swap camp for better address battery life issues. And the way he explained it was like this. King Li Hong called on more companies including Huawei to join the battery swap alliance. It leads to better address battery life issues with electric vehicles. This will be huge Not that we haven't done huge things, and people always saying to me, well, when will the stock price reflect this, Mitch? Look to history as your teacher, lad. Pull your pants up and understand what will happen, and I've said this before, as NIO explode forwards in the share price, finally reflecting what's happening. Tesla will tank massively to zero. They are going to go bankrupt as the man continues to lie and tell you all he's getting ready for robo-taxis, and even JP Morgan put out a whole article on that saying they are many years away, whilst there are already robo-taxis on the road in China, here in America. So we will skyrocket massively forward as Tesla tank heavily in the future to zero and go bankrupt unless they join battery as a service. Solving battery life issues is urgent, just as the society is going to face the issue of an aging population that needs to be prepared for a well in advance, Kinley said in a speech today. Excuse me, guys. Solving the problem is not something that NIO or any other company can accomplish on its own solo effort. It requires the cooperation of the entire industry. So basically he's saying it's just like helping the aging population, which we're not doing here in America, right? We know that Social Security is bankrupt. We keep spending money for wars. China is treating it in a different manner. Just like King Li Hong is saying, we have to prepare for all these aging batteries coming, and people still ain't waking up. No critical thinking, no common sense. So they're buying these cars with fixed batteries, and after the battery life is done, the car is done. And King Li Hong is telling these guys like they already joined, like Huawei and others, you also need to come on board to save yourself as well as the industry, because what's going to happen is after these cars that Huawei is teaming up with and they're building, and the others that NIO just talked about, BAIC and Dongfeng, people are not going to go back to them, and those cars are going to end up in a junkyard. So this is incredible, and I believe that these guys will join us because of the way the Chinese culture work. As I was talking to my friend Neo San Francisco, they work together in unison instead of like here in America where it's, dog eat dog. They're starting to wake up and learn too, I think, though, to a certain extent, but not like the way the Chinese do it. So this is very exciting to see. This is why I do not waver. And when others are pooping in their pants, oh, the stock is still down, I keep buying. Because I've learned from experience, and I understand and I see that this is going to be the next behemoth that is going to dominate the landscape. And when the shorts come pooping in their pants, saying, oh, well, the stock is trash, I say to them, shut your mouth, boy, and pull your pants up. This is a channel for lions. So I hope you guys found this video to be informational, inspirational, motivational on a Friday morning. If so, guys, do not forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do the research, to do the video, to do the editing. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we're waking up the middle class for the first time to get a piece of the pie. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.